of your time to do it. And I know I'm getting that reaction from you, and I expected that. But why is it such an easy decision? Why is my question so stupid?
Well, because I'm a veteran myself, and I understand what these guys go through, and obviously these athletes have been through way more. So for me, it's just like the least I can do to give back and really just show solidarity with all branches. Really just a great way to give back to the community in general. Our veterans are very important. We need to look out for them.
100%. And I mentioned that you are one of many. Do you know how many volunteers are there working this week?
Over 400 came out. Yeah. In fact, we had one volunteer come all the way from Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yes, her husband was in for 30 years in the Army. So
that's amazing. And on a day-to-day basis, what is it that you are doing? A lot of what you do is obviously behind the scenes to help make this run smoothly, but what has it been like day to day for you?
You mean as far as like?
Yeah, just like what they have you, running around and doing.
It depends on what detail you're on. But it's anything from just setting up for the events, or some people hanging signs. We have wayfinders, like helping people find their way around campus. And then people obviously manage some of the security checkpoints and stuff like that.
Yeah. And have you gotten the chance to talk with a lot of, if you were on one of these teams, Team Army, obviously, have you been able to talk to some of the members of Team Army and, just kind of make those connections? Because that's what I've heard from a lot of the people here is that they're making connections with people that they're not going to, lose contact with once this event's over.
That's right. Yes. And I have been fortunate enough to spend some time around the athletes when I was on my shifts. And let me just say, the Army guys are hard to find. You can hear them clanging around campus. They have some.
I love that.
I mean, they all came out to compete, and honestly, I don't care what sports you like to watch. You will never find a more intense competition than this sporting event right here, because it's the branches against the branches, and there's this huge rivalry, but it comes from a place of just deep, admiration and respect for each other, because we do the same thing ultimately, which is serve our country and the Constitution.
Right. And, we here in Colorado Springs kind of understand that dynamic because, we have the Air Force Academy here and they play Army and they play Navy. And when that rivalry is described, it's described in much the same way, right? Like they wanted, with every fiber of their being, Air Force wants to beat Navy and Army, but they also understand once the clock ticks down to 0 and their time at the academy is over, they're on the same team, right? So this is just what I have found is that I think this is just the next level of it, because you have so many of these servicemen and women who have now been through it. Those service academy kids, they're just getting started. There's so many people here that have been through a lot and stuff. So it's just fascinating to hear you describe it that way, because we get a small taste of that when Air Force plays Army and Navy, but this just takes that feeling and multiplies it by. And
it really does. Absolutely. As you said, these guys are on the table. So they really get the picture.
100%. And so you didn't come all the way from Italy. Where did you come from?
I live right over on the side.
There you go.
Yeah, just a couple miles away.
Yeah, right on. So were you here a few years ago when it was actually?
I was not.
No.
I just moved to Colorado in 2019.
Okay. All right, right on. What brought you out?
Honestly, I finished up my stuff in the military, and then I have a son. He's 20 now. He's off to college. Honestly, I just love the mountains. I find I talk to a lot of other veterans and say the same thing. There's something that draws us. You know, maybe it's just the case of Mother Nature or whatever. I know that the 7 years that I've lived up here, it's really been helpful for me. Stuff I do.
Yeah, that's very cool. James Albright, my guest, one of the many volunteers making the Warrior Games what it is this week. So, what does your schedule look like over the next couple of days? Your job's not finished, right?
That's right.
Your job's not finished. So, what can people expect? What's on your plate over the next couple of days?
Well, today I'm here until 17:30, I believe. We're just finishing up, tearing some stuff down, and then setting stuff up for the send off dinner. And then tomorrow I'll be here from 7:30 to like 2200 with a 2-hour break. Just doing working in the family programs, like the hospitality center, and then helping with the center.
You know, how cool is it to see families and friends here? I know it goes along with this event. That's part of it. But I mean, just to be able to see the family be able to celebrate their wives, their husbands, their daughters, sons, whatever it might be. I mean, how is that from where you've been standing this week? That dynamic, how cool is it?
Well, you know, much like the fact that you see more competition and you see among the athletes, you'll never see stronger family units than you see in the military. And I know, like, I had to go to Iraq when my son was 8 months old, and that was like the hardest thing I ever had to do, including going to Iraq. So these soldiers have all been through it. You know what I mean? They've all fought somewhere. And it just makes the family unit just that much stronger. You learn to appreciate the time you have because you don't always get to see each other as a normal civilian family.
For sure, and there's so much that you serve. You know, you can't move, whatever the case may be. You're not going to share every detail of when you serve. So I got to imagine, and forgive my ignorance, but I didn't serve like you did, but I got to imagine there's a piece of you that you don't necessarily share, and there's a really good reason for that. It's not because you're trying to obviously, but now they get to put on a uniform, different kind of uniform here, and then but still kind of share that aspect of their lives with their family, right?
Absolutely. And you know, it is something that we don't like to talk about. Us in the military, like, we carry that burden of so many times.
1,000%.
Especially when it comes to things that happen in combat.
Yeah, but just the idea that they're competing as a member, as someone who's maybe SOCOM, that and kind of putting on that uniform and getting to share that camaraderie and that different side, I suppose, of people is really cool. Something I've been able to observe, and you've gotten a closer look at it than I have. Kind of good fortune for you to come out to Colorado Springs, and then this kind of comes about. How did you hear that the Warrior Games were coming out?
Well, I've been aware of the games, obviously. They've been going on since like 2010, I think.
Oh, so this is
Right.
this is an event and stuff that you were familiar with when you were serving.
Yes, and it was here, I believe, for several years, but it moved around for a few
Right.
years. And then I heard it was coming back. Of course, like I had to be here. And it's not like I had to go all the way from here.
Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes coming from the west side, like
Yeah.
people. Hey, you have a very empathetic audience here because we all deal with driving around in this city of ours, and so it's no joke. It's not coming over from Italy, but we all little burden. But yeah, I forget that you're you're in the know. But people like me, I got to find some stuff out. You probably knew this was coming for a while, and we're able to link up and stuff. But still, really appreciate you taking time to kind of give us some insight into that, and appreciate what you're doing this week because. Obviously,
appreciate that.
I'm appreciating you, James, for much the same reasons I appreciate these athletes because you serve our country and you're helping make this an unforgettable event. So thank you so much for it. Yeah, that's James Albright, one of the many people working hard behind the scenes here at the DoD Warrior Games to make it happen. We'll take the show, and the latest is Staff Sergeant Cody Tuck, my guest. Pleasure to have you. You and I were discussing before we came on air, because even though I'm 5 feet away from that gym, I have no idea what's going on there. You do, and things are going very well for Team Army, are they not?
We've got the setup, we've got the mechanics of the game down, and I don't think we'll fall off anytime soon.
Yeah, so you guys are off to a 3-0 start, yeah. So sitting pretty. So what's the schedule like? So you come back and
We'll come back from this, and then we have a bye game, and then we play SoCon, which I think will be our most fierce competitor.
okay,
We're not worried about it. I still think we have them in the bag, but they're going to be a pretty good fight. And that'll be it for tonight, and tomorrow we'll go to the finals.
right on. And it's sitting volleyball. So how much of I don't know if you played volleyball growing up or at all, but I got to imagine it's a little bit of an adjustment to play some of these sports that you're competing in. How much of an adjustment is it?
The volleyball, it's definitely an adjustment because I'm 6'4". Yeah. So if I play volleyball, I go to a net, I can spike.
Right.
Here, I'm a little bit over the net, and you can't lift your bottom off the court or else it's a foul.
Right.
So there's some adjustment to it. Just being that little forward, having to move to get the ball with your hands. I don't know. It's definitely harder than regular. 100%.
How long did you take to get acclimate? How long is the training period to get ready for the Warriors?
I started playing this year. Sit volleyball in SRU.
Okay.
We had it every week. We played. Enjoyed it. I prefer the wheelchair position just because there's most.
Because you get a crash.
Rugby, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, basketball you can. It's just a little bit more frowned upon.
But volleyball, aside from playing maybe 7 or 8 times at SRU, and then we got the trials, we got to train the coach, and we got to start the ins and outs of the proper way of doing things. Then we had our sports camp here in Colorado about a month ago, and that's when everything come together, and we had to really get it. Since then, everything kind of little mistakes here and there, but you're going to have all of this.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant Cody Tuck, my guest, representing Team Army here on Drive Time Sports. So I would imagine it would be a waste of somebody that's 6'4" to not have played sports growing up. So what sports did you play?
I played baseball when I was younger.
Okay. All right, on in what position did you play? Right. So you were 6'4" then. Okay.
I was 6'3" in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. After my senior year, so I went very fast, but I was tall and I could catch balls.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that, one, is to just gauge some people have never played any kind of sports and they're just picking it up now. But I ask you because as somebody that understands, those high school football teams that you were on, the camaraderie and whatever was going on in your life, you had that team. Did you think that this team that you're on would give you that would be as important to where you were at in this stage of your life than as it was in high school? Did you think that these adaptive sports would play the role that they do in your life right now?
I realized a little bit later, at this point, we play all the adaptive sports and stuff. And then when I caught wind of the Warrior games and then, I could be a part of the team again and everything else, it was kind of it was an amazing feeling, to be able to try out and make the team. Because this is better than anything I've heard. You're talking about brothers and sisters who all have problems, who don't mind sharing it with you, and don't mind hearing yours. And, you can put some stuff in there. Any day you think you have a bad day, you can always be worse. And you can look at how everybody else is. That's what this whole program is about. So,
Yeah.
I would say that the camaraderie is 100% better than any high school weapons, because not only are your teammates, but your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and I was just talking with James, who's one of the volunteers here, but he served in the Army, and we were talking about that, the fact that, a lot of the stuff that you do while you're in the service is you're not going to share with family and friends and everything like that. And now there's other things that you're dealing with, but you get to be with, to your point, people that understand all of it, all of it. Because what struck me in what you just said was how willing everyone is to talk about it. And I guess the reason is because you all share this common bond that maybe you don't with even people that you're relatively close to in your personal life.
Absolutely. Other people who talk about their injuries or disabilities to anyone when you get them around some of the young soldiers, and it's not a problem because we all have stuff in common. We've all seen all things. So I think it just makes it easier for us to communicate, and easier to open up. That's why it's always very important for us to watch different brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Cody Tuck, my guest, Staff Sergeant from Team Army. When we talk about the role that these sports have played in your recovery, in your life in general, when you're doing these sports at your SRU, are you doing these like right after treatment? I got to imagine like there were some days that you were dead tired, but you got to go out there and train. I mean, was some of that going on?
So I got, just was put into surveillance back in December of 2023.
Mhm.
I was already starting to be adapted sports, but at the time it was just because I had to be. At the SRU, we had to have something.
Yeah.
And there be like a lot of people like, I really just want to be there. I want to be at home. But then I hate hospitals. So I really just went to appease, the leadership. And the more I went, the more it became like stuff. That was how bad I felt. I was always, I had a mission to be here. And I mean, it was good here. So much training. I think the goal being here to get through, depression, all those things that you have to go through. And it definitely pushed me through that direction. So, yeah, I definitely just after treatment, after being in the hospital over, yeah, that was how I
Love it. Love it. Cody Tuck, my guest. This was awesome. Thanks for stopping by and chat with me a little bit. Best of luck as you guys try to. Would you say that sitting volleyball is your favorite sport, or is there one event that you like more than the others? I know you love all basketball.
We like to play every single team.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
we.
It was the '92 Dream Team.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Army hasn't won a gold medal in baseball since 2015.
Oh, really?
And they've never won anything better than Rockets. The history of Warrior games, we won so much.
That's awesome. Well, they didn't have Cody Tuck.
That's what it is.
Staff Sergeant Cody Tuck. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for taking the time and congratulations.
Absolutely.
We'll have more Drive Time Sports live from the DoD. Welcome back to Colorado College Drive Time Sports live at the DoD Warrior Games. Now joined here by a member of Team Marine Corps, although it's complicated. We'll get into it. Petty Officer Christopher Duke, my guest. Chris, good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about that right off the top. So you served in the Navy.
I'm still
Yes.
serving.
Still serving in the Navy. Excuse me. So, were you a free agent? Were you traded? Well,
No, so I was with a unit at Camp Lejeune. Then I had my accident. Got sent over to Wounded Warrior Battalion. Started training with them. Was asked by Team Navy in Lejeune if I wanted to join them, but I told them that I'd been training with the Marines and I want to stay true to the team.
Yeah, love that loyalty, right? And look, when you're here, you're all part. You're all part of the
Yes, sir.
right? And you're all pulling for one another. So, is this the first Warrior game that you've competed in?
Yes, sir. It is.
So, is it everything that you hoped and believed it would be?
Yes, it is actually more. A lot of good competitions here. I'm just excited to be here. I'm waiting for actually next year to come back. So hopefully Team Marine Corps can bounce back from this.
Yeah, and overall, from a competition standpoint, how has Team Marine Corps done?
The score doesn't reflect how our team is. Honestly, we are driven, motivated. If you're sitting here watching, the score reflects us different. We are a very tight-knit team. I know a lot of the spectators here wanted us to put some upsets yesterday. Yep. We couldn't pull it through, but hey, we did our best, and that's what I can ask from our team.
How cool is that because you're absolutely right, and we were talking about rugby a little while ago before we came on air here. I mean, how cool is that to see some of the fans kind of come over? Maybe they're wearing Air Force colors and they're starting to pull. I mean, how cool is that to have the fan dynamic?
It was really great. We were trying our best to try to beat the top dog and make it an underdog story, and SOCOM's just a really good team.
Yeah, well, and you were telling me off air that you guys didn't really have the lead up to it, and I'll pay you this compliment. It is a compliment. It didn't look like that. I mean, you guys, to your point, tight knit. You guys fed off of each other, and you gave the team SOCOM everything they could handle in that semifinal. So, kudos to you guys.
Appreciate it. It's just not me; it's just the whole team.
Absolutely.
So I do appreciate our team and the coaches. I mean, they came in, and we only got, I think, 3 days of practice here, and that was it.
So that you're like, let's extend out like a week.
Yeah.
Give us a week.
We've been wanting to get as much practice as we could, and with everyone, like all these other sports that I've been doing, it's just that was the only 3 days that I got. So we made the best of what we got. 2026
Warrior Games, wheelchair rugby. I'm calling it now Marine Corps. I don't know. Are there, and this may not. Are there betting odds like next year on some features?
I can't say that.
That's me. I did that. Christopher Duke, my guest, joining me from Team Marine Corps. So, did you play a lot of sports growing up?
Oh, yeah. I was in football, baseball, soccer. I really love the sport of baseball. I actually coach baseball, umpire baseball. I've grown up in sports my whole life. So.
Yeah, so you understand the team dynamic, and you understand. I was just talking to Cody Tuck about this a little while ago. Like, you understand what a team and what sports does for you, no matter what you're going through in life. But I'm curious, did you think that this team, these sports, were going to play the role in your life that they are, and are you getting out of it what they told you would end up getting out of it?
Yeah, at first when I got here, I did not know what to expect.
Right.
This is, like I said, this is my first time here, and it was everything and more. And, you know, there's different personalities on the team, and eventually we finally just kind of clicked all together. And, you know, just because you're an all-star doesn't mean like, hey, we all have to come on the same page and be, you know, one team. So I kind of just let the coaches do their thing and just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
So,
And being able to do this as, part of the recovery, and that's so much of what this is about. And have you been surprised at all of how valuable all of this is for recovery for servicemen and women?
I actually enjoy it. If you'd ask my coaches, they tell you I'm on the gym every day back in Lejeune shooting on the court by myself.
Yeah.
They'll just put chairs out for me, and I'll just kind of just do my plays behind the chairs. And then, like, we just been trying to do as much as we can on with what we got.
Yeah. Very, very cool. So what did you do in the Navy? Doing, sorry.
I'm a Navy corpsman. I've been in for 16 years. Due to my accident, I'm trying to get medically retired out. I'm just waiting to hear back from that. So I'm hoping when I get back from the games, I have good news waiting at home for me. So other than that, it's been a great 16 years. My ultimate goal is I really want to go into Invictus. That would be the cherry on the top of my military career, and I would be a happy camper.
You gotta. I know you guys were rivals the other day, but you gotta talk to Mike Haley about that. He's got all the answers when it comes to Invictus, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy everybody's going to.
Yeah,
but
I really want to go to Invictus.
Yeah. So what does that look like? Like, how do you go from here to Invictus? Is it how you perform here? Is it some other process that you go through?
I really have no idea. I think it's based off of like the coaches. I think at the end of this games, they all get together, and I think it all comes down to who's the coaches are and what they see in all the other players. So I just hope I can make the cut. And
well, they're listening right now, and so you didn't know that they're listening right now. Well, so make your case. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. No, I really do. I've been really working really hard back in Lejeune. I'm down 40 pounds. I mean, that's what our recovery program has done for me. I wasn't able to walk at all. I'm riding my bike 20 miles a day with no problems. I'm doing rugby, basketball, archery, all this stuff. So I really do appreciate Wounded Warrior and all that stuff.
Well, I hope that you do get into Invictus, and I get to watch you doing that here in the next year or so. But in the meantime, what does your schedule kind of look like the next couple of days? What are you looking forward to? What are the plans here as this event wraps up?
Well, I'm looking forward to Team Marine Corps bouncing back in seated volleyball.
Yeah.
We have a really good team. Like I said, the score doesn't reflect how our team is. I feel like we are David's going against Goliath in this. But I really do hope that we pull out an upset this week and tomorrow, or today and tomorrow. So that's what I'm really looking. I'm just there to support. I'm done with all my events.
Yeah.
So I just get to sit back and watch and cheer on my other teammates.
Did you have people out here this week?
My wife and son came out.
Very cool.
My other 3 kids are back at home with their grandma, so they're probably giving her a headache right now.
But they asked for it.
Yeah.
I know my mom, like I'm like, are you sure about it? And she's like, yeah. And then I see the look on her face when I pick up the boys.
Yeah, they've been watching on TV and on online as well.
Yeah.
So they've been calling me every night, telling me that I did a good job. So and they're proud of me. So that makes it feel 10 times better. Even though I don't have no medals, I made personal records out here, so I can't beat that.
But I've talked about with previous guests and stuff. There's so much of your life when you're in the Navy that you're not going to really talk to your kids about or your wife about. But to be able to, I know you're on Team Marine Corps, but to put on, it's kind of the same side of you, right?
Yeah.
Like what you are at Camp Lejeune, you're kind of here
Yes, sir.
in among the same people. So for your son to be able to see that side of you, I got to imagine that's cool for you as a dad.
Yes, sir. It really is. I do enjoy basically doing this for them. Show them that just because I had a little wrinkle in the road doesn't mean that I can. I mean, I bounce back and I'm just pushing forward every day. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time and chatting with me a little bit. I will let you enjoy the rest of the competition, but really appreciate you
I
joining.
appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go Marine Corps.
Yeah, go Marine Corps. He's Marine Corps through and through now. Christopher Dew joining me here on Drive Time Sports. We'll take a break and have more after this. Brian Kaufman and Ray Dominguez back here on Drive Time Sports. It's all right. You can be on camera, right? Back here at the DoD Warrior Games, things have settled down a little bit here, but it will pick back up in just like 15 or 20 minutes as the sitting volleyball competition continues here, and then it will be tomorrow will be the last day of competition here at Colorado College. The schedule, to give you a better idea, they're taking a break to eat right now, and then all the athletes and stuff are coming back, and we'll roll along with more sitting volleyball. They'll start swimming at 6:30 before I wake up. But thankfully, it will go all the way through the lunch hour, which is more my speed, and then the sitting volleyball, the culmination of this event, will happen about 12:30, 1 o'clock tomorrow, and then there will be the Warrior Games Plaza medal ceremonies, and then it will be the send-off tomorrow as well. So still plenty of stuff. I know we're kind of wrapping up our week here at Warrior Games, but there's a lot more competition, a lot more stuff going on. So if you're out and about, or for tomorrow, if you want to make a day of it to come out here to Colorado College, definitely do it. Because even if you spend just a little bit of time here, you'll get an idea of what this is all about and what it means to the people who are competing this week and their families. A lot of their families are here, and to see people from the local community coming out and supporting people that they don't even know, but just supporting them because of who they are and what they are doing, I think it goes a long way. It does. And being able to be out here for 4 or 5 days, it's been just unbelievable. And it was awesome when it was back at the Air Force Academy a few years ago, but I don't know if my memory is leaving me or whatever, but this has felt so much better being out here. And it's the same event, and I've gotten to talk to a lot of the competitors back then, but I don't know. They're just the people that I've gotten to talk to this week, in the stories that have been shared throughout the week have just been, I mean, they've been profound, and they are so willing to share. And Cody Tuck and I were discussing this earlier of how, you don't talk about a lot of this stuff, but you get around people who went through the same thing, who served like you did, and you're more open. And I've been the beneficiary of that this week, because they're just kind of in a sharing mood. They're willing to discuss what has happened to them. We're talking, Staff Sergeant Tuck, like, we didn't talk about it during the interview. Like, he got a cancer diagnosis, a while back. And like, he's willing to share that stuff. We didn't really go into that because it wasn't necessary, but we were talking off air, and just how willing they are to share what's going on, because I think they understand going through this. Like, one, how much it helps them to be able to share with people, because people want to help. People want to be supported. And I think that's part of what they understand as they move through this program. But they understand how every single one of these athletes are an inspiration. I mean, they're inspiring the people that are watching, whether they know them or not, whether it's their family or their kids, or just people who have come by to watch. They're inspirations. And you think of our first guest today, Shonda Mitchell, competing for her sister. And that's one of the things that struck me this week is the why for these athletes, why they're competing. And Shonda Mitchell doing it for, her sister recently passed away. And Tyler Pollard doing it for the men and women he served with over in Syria. Some of them who did not return home. So I'm so appreciative of all of these competitors being so open and willing to tell their story and willing to discuss why they're doing what they're doing, because it's inspiring. I've used that word a million times this week, but I don't know how else to describe it. So I sincerely thank each and every one of them for taking time to sit with me and chat. They're remarkable human beings that have been dealt a hand that I won't speak for anybody else other than myself. I mean, it would have destroyed me. The stuff that they're dealing with, whether it's injuries, whether it's illnesses, it would have crushed me. I wouldn't have had what it takes to be here, like competing at a high level. Like, forget that. I wouldn't even be, leaving my house if I was dealing with some of the stuff that they were dealing with. And look, a lot of the competitors we've had on this week, they admitted that. Like, that's where they were. But credit to the people in their lives and credit to them themselves, they got out of that. I don't know that I would be somebody that would be able to extricate myself from these kind of situations. So just remarkable. And I wish that selfishly that the Warrior Games would just go back to, the way it was, where it was just in Colorado Springs every year, and that's being selfish, but I want this to be a regular thing every single year. But I suppose it does make it all the more special when we've been waiting for this event to come back around and be back here in Colorado Springs. And now it is, and then it will go away. It's going to San Antonio, but hopefully it'll be back in Colorado Springs before too long. And there are so many people to thank for this. When I go out on location to do anything, it takes a lot of people to make sure that the show has content, that I have guests, that we're getting the streaming up and it's on the radio. Like, so many people, obviously DJ Michael's back at the Extra Sports 1300 studios, has been doing what he always does, and that's help me out whenever I need it, and he's done a great job of that. This week, Ray Dominguez has been behind our social media accounts, so any pictures you see on my socials or on the station socials, those were taken by Ray, except for the ones that he got from the Warrior Games, and we have properly credited the Warrior Games for those pictures. But Ray's been running our social media and helping introduce the guests, get them set up. And then Katie and her team at Populous have been unbelievable to work with, and they're behind this entire event. They're the reason why it's gone off. You would think without a hitch. I know, talking to them, there have been hitches, but they have not been hitches that anybody that's competing or attending has seen, and they've been tremendous to work with and have been able to get me all of these guests, the PAOs from all of these branches of the military, being so willing to offer up their team members to chat with me. It's been terrific, and it's just been an unbelievable week of shows here, and I look forward to the next time I get to do this. And most of all, thanks to you for listening. Hopefully you got a little something out of this. Can't be as much as I did because I'm here and talking to these people, but hopefully you enjoyed hearing from these servicemen and women who are who obviously gave a lot for us, but are now providing even more inspiration and even more as an example of, for us to be better than what we are. So thanks to them most of all, but thanks to you as well for tuning in throughout the week. Enjoy your weekend. Maybe see you at the Switchbacks game, but we'll talk to you Monday at 3 here on Extra Sports 1300.